Hockey friends and families, guess what? We have reached 400 episodes of this show. And whether you're listening to this before one of our older episodes or you're involved in the 400th episode celebration, we want to welcome you. And first off, thank you so much for allowing us to do this show. To celebrate, we're going to be doing top 5 episodes. So top 5 episodes with NHL guests, top 5 episodes for parents, for players, for coaches, for goalies. Top 5 of Our Girls Play Hockey, top 5 episodes of guests that really inspired us. And we know you're going to enjoy that. So we also want to announce during this time that we are really proud that we've teamed up once again with NHL Sense Arena to be our title sponsor from now through the season. And I got to tell you, as a coach, as a parent, I really love NHL Sense Arena. It's a virtual reality hockey training platform on the Meta Quest. It's for players. It's for goalies. It really helps to develop their hockey IQ. And whether you're a squirt or a pro, it's being used by all of them. Really, it's officially licensed by the NHL and it's official partners with USA Hockey and the OMHA up in Canada. A lot of people are using this. I want you to check this out because what I love about it, in addition to my kids using it to get better, is the tracking features. And it also keeps them off maybe some of the other things like YouTube or other video games that they might be playing that I don't think have a lot of value. So they made us a pretty cool URL, sensearena.com/OKPH. Again, that's sensearena.com/OKPH. Please check it out. Support them. It helps to support us as a show. And I promise you, for the cost that they're asking for, which is $299 for a full year, which is less than one session of ice, it's really going to pay off for you and your family. Again, if you're hearing this message, we are celebrating 400 episodes of Our Kids Play Hockey, powered by NHL Sense Arena. Let's get into it right now. Hello, hockey friends and families around the world, and welcome to another special edition of Our Kids Play Hockey. This is a surprise today. We got something cool for you. I'm Lee Elias with Mike Benelli, and today we are very excited to introduce to you the newest member of our broadcast team, Team USA Olympian, PWHL star, and the new co-host of Our Girls Play Hockey. Hayley Scamurra is with us today. Hayley, welcome to the team.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to join you guys and get to connect with the great community you guys have started.
Hey, thanks so much. Look, we're really excited to have you as well. And again, in addition to those qualifications, my friends, Hayley is so involved in the youth game through a mentorship program that she runs with her boyfriend, Nick. And she's just so dedicated to the growth of the game. So while her hockey skills are obviously credentials, her as a person is really why we chose her to be here today. And what's really cool about it is your first episode, Hayley, is we're continuing our celebration of 400 episodes by diving into the best of Our Girls Play Hockey today, the series within our network dedicated to growing the women's game through stories, advice, and inspiration. Again, a show for everyone. It's been highly successful. And in this episode, we're going to walk through 5 of the most impactful conversations we've had with the trailblazing guests that we've had across the women's game, from draft day nerves to Olympic redemption to co-ed transitions to breaking the mental stigma. These stories have really stuck with us, and we think they're going to resonate with you as the audience as well. And again, can't think of a better episode for Hayley to start with our crew than the celebration of all the episodes we've done so far. So Hayley, Mike, are you ready to run through these? You ready for this episode?
Yeah, let's jump in.
Mike, I can feel your excitement from here. No, I appreciate it. All right, let's jump into it. The top 5 episodes of Our Girls Play Hockey. And the first one, a name everybody knows, Brianna Decker. And her title of her episode was Olympic Journey and Mental Toughness. And look, she's an Olympic gold medalist, and she recounts her highs and lows on the road to Team USA in this episode, both from losing in 2014 to winning in 2018. She explains how the daily commitment of mental training and treating really every practice like a playoff game helped build her championship mindset. So check out this clip of Brianna talking of why effort and hockey IQ matter far more than flashy skills. Here it is.
That's the number one thing that we tell our kids, like, don't come to this program if you're not going to work hard, because like we are going to outwork every opponent that we have. So when we're choosing teams, like that's number one thing, like how hard are they competing? How hard are they working? 2, I really watch for obviously how smart kids are and are they able to make plays out of nothing? Things like that. The one thing that I really don't pay attention to, and I know you asked me what I do pay attention to, but the skill stuff to me, you obviously have to have some skill, but a lot of these kids do. But that's like things that they're naturally going to get better at here because of how much they're on the ice and how much opportunities they do have to work on skills. So like if a kid's shot's not that great, it's like I'm not going to not take that kid because I'm going to go and tell that kid, hey, you made the team for so many other reasons, but you got to get your shots got to get better.
One of the things about Brianna Decker, I mean, she was just an incredible teammate and leader. She demanded the best out of everyone and of herself. And I think that's why she was so easy to follow. Like in practice, like that first battle drill, she was always going hard. Like you knew you were getting her best every single day, and it made you bring your best every day. So it doesn't surprise me that that's what she's talking about, and that's what she values in players that she's looking at.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I love the fact that Hayley's jumping in on this on the best of is because she actually has firsthand knowledge of all of this stuff. Like it's somebody like Hayley's gonna go, oh yeah, that's what she was like. Oh yeah, that's the person that said, she does value the fact that if somebody didn't have a great shot, that they would take that player anyway because they just outworked everyone on the ice. Like that hockey IQ, passion, feeling like you could overcome the odds are really. Right, Hayley, more important or sometimes really more important than just flat out skill. And I think that was a great piece of the episode. And I think a great piece of, what she focused on, because these are the kind of things, you guys at your level, have to deal with in real life. And so the reason probably I would go back and listen to this episode only because it's out there and it gives you the blueprint to go back and really see what aspiring athletes have to focus on and what they should be thinking about outside of just pure skill.
Hayley, Mike's bringing up a really funny point, but a good one that we can't generally say, oh yeah, I played with that person. I know that person, but they played with you. Actually, some of these people played with you, coached you. So that's pretty cool. Next one's another athlete that is along that line, Megan Bozek. And she did a great episode on how long should girls play boys hockey. Again, she's a 2-time Olympian. And she really opened up about playing boys hockey through 8th grade and the advantages it gave her in speed and grit. And she walked through the emotional and developmental considerations behind switching to girls hockey and why that should be a player-led decision, right? If there's anything of impact here, and Hayley will talk about this too, that there is no direct, this is the age, this is the time, this is when you should do it. It's really different for everyone. So before we get to that, look, here's a clip of Megan on why tough conversations with parents can lead to major growth. Check this out.
Mom and dad supported me through that all and made sure I was getting into tryouts for that next season to go into the girls' game because I was clueless. We were all clueless. We didn't know, and it wasn't as popular as it is now. But having those hard conversations to say, okay, am I going to get better? I was concerned. I was like, will I get better? Will I be able to play next year and make a girls team? It took a lot of effort as well for my parents to do their research on their end to put me in the best environment. You have to have those tough conversations and you have to expect maybe a tough answer back, but know that they are responding with your best interest in mind. Who drives you to the rink? They do. Who pays all of your equipment? They do. Who pays all of your fees? They do. So you have to realize that they're trying to help you as well.
Yeah, I love this. Bose had the Bose bomb is what we called it. Her slap shot was the hardest shot in women's hockey. It was insane. Like in practice, we joked, we're like, yep, not stepping in front of that one. And she also was a super physical player. She always battled. She always was hitting people, maybe got a few too many penalties based on that, but that was just her physicality. That was her game.
Yeah, I mean, if you follow her on social media and her throwing kettleballs around right now, you could see that she's still in that physical, and those physical attributes are still there. And somebody who, back in the day in the prime, you could imagine somebody you didn't want to get in front of blocking shots with. But I think also, Hayley, from your point of view too, I mean, her speaking about that transition from, I like the one quote, like, we didn't even know this was a thing. Like, we didn't even know girls shouldn't be playing with boys. I was just out there competing. And, can you talk a little bit about that and about how this episode, could impact, some of our listeners about that time when there is going to be transition?
Absolutely. I think it's different for every single girl. And especially when we were younger, there was only boys' teams to play on. I think nowadays there are more girls' teams to play on, which is great. There's more resources. But when you are on that boys' team, you really have to be vocal about how you're feeling in that space. Because it just kind of like there was just like a switch when it happened. Because at one point I felt great with the guys and everything was wonderful and I felt a part of the team. And then at a certain point, I didn't feel a part of the team, and I had to communicate that with my parents because otherwise they maybe wouldn't have known. So it's super important to just be vocal and be aware of how you're feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, oh, sorry, like, go ahead. I'm
No,
just
you
saying,
go ahead.
I mean, to me, like, that's one of the reasons why you go back and listen to this, because if you're a parent and you're really unsure about how to navigate this space, like, this is a really good chance to navigate what in a lot of players, when you get to that level, it's a really huge decision. And one of those decisions, like, you're like, well, that person's not doing it. I don't know if it's the right decision for me, or am I being soft, or am I doing something that I shouldn't be doing, because everybody else is playing with the boys. So it's I think Megan really brings a lot to light about the feelings about that, and then the realities of why you wouldn't, make that transition.
Yeah, and I'll just say in closing on that one too, Mike, that again, it was a great episode no matter where you're at, especially if you're a coach, because it gives a perspective I don't think a lot of coaches have, unless you're living it. So moving on to the next one, really impactful episode with Kendra Fisher. The title was Breaking the Mental Health Stigma. Kendra Fisher, former Team Canada goalie, got real about leaving the national team due to anxiety and panic disorder. And now she champions mental health awareness in hockey, advocating for emotional fitness as an essential part of player development. So it was a real eye-opening episode about someone who at the peak of their playing chose to leave for their own mental health. So here's a clip of Kendra on why great players must first be great people. Impactful. Check it out.
At the end of the day, I assure you, the superstars in the game, when they are at their best, their mental health is in check.
Right.
When they are having a bad game, there's too much research, there's too much proof now behind the fact that if you are not both at the top of your game mentally and physically, you are not the whole player you could be.
Right.
So it's not like it doesn't have to be like a peace offering. It doesn't have to be a marketing plan. It doesn't have to be like hey guys, we will talk about feelings and we'll coach your kid. It can be hey, guess what? We recognize that working with your kid on their mental health is just as important as working with your kid on their physical health. And that will make them the best player they can be.
Right. And again, I love everything we're talking about. And one of our monikers is that good people become good players. Great people become great players.
I think this is a really impactful story. Super important in the female hockey space, I think, to really talk about this. I feel like it's maybe not talked about enough, and the mental health stigma that can be around it about maybe it makes players weak, but I really think it makes them strong if they're being vulnerable about what they're going through.
Right. And I think that's the reason I would go back and listen to this. If you're with, as yourself, maybe you're struggling, or you're an athlete that says, I really don't know what to do in these situations. It really is for us on these episodes, it's one of the most honest conversations that we've had with an athlete talking about this, and a must listen for anyone, coaches, parents, players, that value athlete wellness. So I think it's a really good opportunity to go back and kind of listen to this and really dig into what she had to say and learn from it.
Yeah. Well, and look, there's a reason it made the top 5, right? It was because it was that impactful. Another one that made the top 5, our next one, is with Katie Million, who is really the general manager of USA Hockey for women. We were very fortunate to have her on. Her episode actually is one of her Ride to the Rinks about becoming an Olympian. And again, look, she distills the Olympic journey to its core values of joy, character, and daily discipline in this episode. But she also explains how athletes should balance fun with focus and develop the off-ice habits that set them apart. Obviously you need talent to make Team USA. You obviously need talent to be playing professional hockey, but to be selected, something else has to be there. And I think she dives into that here. So here's Katie on why building in fun is critical to sustaining that grind. Check it out.
Grind. You guys know what it's like on high level teams, and you're working hard, and you might be giving up going to your high school prom or friends, parties, or I don't know, summer camp at wherever, to be part of these camps and to be training all the time and to have that elite mindset and working on all the different aspects. It is a grind, and how we have fun is a great question. But we do try to make sure we're having activities and having time for them to just relax and not be on the go and on the grind all the time.
Hayley, I love that clip, but I can't help but while we're listening to it, Katie Million's kind of your boss on Team USA, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. But I think we definitely instill this, the fun aspect in terms of Team USA and making sure that we're staying serious in our focus, but also adding in that fun so we're not getting burned out.
100%.
Yeah, and 100% one of those people to listen to, kind of go back on the episode. It's a great one to pull up if you want a clear, inspiring summary of what it really takes to be the complete athlete, somebody to play at that highest level. I thought that it was really a great episode to hear, all of the pieces that go into play to find the best athletes in the U.S.
And I'm going to say it as well. Katie Million is one of the most impactful hockey people in the United States. So you should probably also go to listen to it for that. She's also one of the nicest people I've ever spoken to in my life. She has such a caring tone and personality, and she's someone who has to make extremely hard decisions. I think that's one of the most amazing things about her. All right, this last one I have here, I got to tell the audience, we picked these prior to Hayley being picked as our co-host, because the next episode includes someone named Hayley Scamurra. On the title of the episode was The Road to Pro Hockey. Hayley, I'm sure you'll have something to say about this one, but what was great about this one is you really reflected on your journey from Team USA to the PWHL, sharing draft day emotions and the leap from college to pro, and just the evolution of women's hockey as a whole. And you really offered a grounded, honest advice for aspiring players, entrusting your path, knowing there is no direct path, embracing the grind, which we just spoke about with Katie Million, and also not comparing timelines with everybody else. So a little weird with you here with us today, but here's a clip of Hayley on how the pro game raises the bar and why young players better come ready. A new player could potentially, move a veteran player out if you're not careful. These kids want to make the lineup.
It's a good point. It's definitely an interesting aspect. I think you kind of see it like on the national team level as well. There's all these college girls who are coming up who are talented and they want to make that team. Right. And I think, but it's also important to have the veteran presence on your team.
Agreed.
For that experience factor,
right.
Because I think it is a jump. Right? Like the pro game is going to be, it's a lot more physical, and we all love it and it's amazing, but it's definitely very different than the college game and very different than the international play. So I think those kind of factor in as well. And I love to see the college girls come in and be excited, because I think it makes our league stronger and, more fans watching, more visibility. I think it can only help. Yeah, it's fun to listen back to this episode. I think, it reigns true to every player at any level. It's just to kind of just stay focused on your own journey and not think too far ahead, and to just enjoy where you're at in your process and not compare timelines. I just see it all the time with girls that I'm mentoring. They're worried about players next to them and how they're going to do at fitness testing and things like that. And it's like, just focus on yourself, your journey, and it'll lead you to where you're meant to be.
Yeah, the reason I would think you'd go back. Now, you don't have to go back to this episode. Actually, if you just listen to the next 400 episodes, you'll probably get a lot of what Hayley talked about in the future. So we can approach a lot of these subjects with her as we move on. But I think, really reminds the listener to respect every stage of the journey. I think, Hayley, what you talked about in that episode too, just about, how players are always trying to take your spot, and the veterans aren't always safe, but you're always working, but if you can remember that there's a bigger journey, that there's a bigger goal, that there's not one weekend is not making your whole career, in the scheme of things, right? I think it's really important that episode will be really impactful for somebody to go back, listen, and then say, okay, well, let's hold Hayley to the test here for the next bunch of episodes and really see, how she speaks. But I think ultimately, it's one of those really cool episodes that kind of sets the table for why, you're sitting in this seat now and being able to, give us an opportunity to inspire all these, next generation of young athletes.
As I said, she passed the test, Mike. That's why she's here.
Yeah, you got it. Well, you're always being
Yes.
You're always being tested. You're always being tested.
There's the public opinion. Yeah, there's the public opinion. Well, look, guys, that was actually it. I mean, that was our 5 best Our Girls Play Hockey episodes, and we really hope that these episodes helped you see what's possible in women's hockey. Whether your daughter just joined for her first Learn to Play, or is really chasing college or pro or USA Hockey or Hockey Canada dreams. We want to give a huge thanks and welcome again to Hayley Scamurra for joining us to not just celebrate these amazing episodes of Our Girls Play Hockey, but to celebrate what's coming on Our Girls Play Hockey. And again, there's going to be a lot of new ones soon that you can watch, you can reflect to with Hayley, and we're going to have a lot of fun on this, Hayley. So I just want to say it again from Mike and I, congratulations. We're so happy to have you here on the show.
Thanks. I'm super excited to join you guys.
All right, that's going to do it for this 400th celebration episode. For Mike, for Hayley, I'm Lee Elias. Remember, keep coming back to Our Kids Play Hockey. We are just getting started. Have fun, skate hard, skate on. We'll see you soon, everybody.